Welcome back, adventurers. I know it's been a long time since I've done a vlog. For anybody who's watched since the beginning or has come in and caught up since, you know that being in front of the camera has never been the most comfortable thing for me. You know, I was not the one who ever wanted to be a model or an actor. I didn't, Academy Award, that doesn't matter to me. But I decided that with everything that's been going on in the world and with people that I know on different levels, maybe it was time to kind of do a round out the year sort of thing. So much has happened this past year, and I pretty much keep my big yap shut about it. I don't try to be a political person, and so it gets a little uncomfortable sometimes for me to talk about things that may or may not bother me or whatever. But, we've had the Keaton video with the poor kid that's being bullied. We've had so much bad and ugly stuff going on this past year that, I hardly recognize the joint anymore. This planet is getting to be a little rough. And it doesn't seem like a whole lot of people really care about fixing that. And it's sad. But for those who have stuck with me on my YouTube channel or whatever, happy holidays. I hope everybody's doing fine. And I wanted to say, and I wanted to say this to everybody. Anybody who I've encountered, God forbid if in some way I hurt your feelings or anything. I never try to be that mean person, It's kind of there. We all have that little nugget inside of us, and we try to keep it, under control. But, I've appreciated the comments and support that I've gotten through the past year. The people who have enjoyed, like, the meme goddess stuff, or Amarynthe, theEternal on YouTube, or the new Twitch channel where everybody knows me as Yandra 2017, which is mostly what I go by. Yeah, the whole Amarynthe thing was actually poorly thought out, and if it wasn't such a pain in the ass to change all my media with YouTube, I probably would change it. But no, we're stuck with that one. So, in the past year has been a learning experience for me. I had mentioned earlier videos, I never watched gamers or anything like that until like a year ago now. It's been like a little over a year. Started like last November. But I've sat back and watched as things have gone on with different people throughout the year, and I've really never been quite able to understand where all of it really comes from and why it even has to exist. I mean, we're smarter than this. We really are. And I want to tell everybody whose life I touched, whether positive or negative, if it's negative, God, please let me know. So, because I really do not want to be that person. I'm a smartass. I'm irreverent. I like to punch things in the face in video games. I'm not a toxic gamer, I'm not going to sit there and talk smack about you because you don't play the way I do. But it's really come to mind, people talk about the holiday season being so hard for people. And, when people go into the physicality of it, oh, you're not getting enough sunlight anymore, or it's people who are disconnected, that don't feel they're part of the celebration or whatever. But in reality, it's a lot more people than you really think. And I've been talking to a lot of people lately who I feel kind of have lost their happy thoughts. And it bothers me. So first thing I really want to make is everybody. You are special. Somebody out there loves you and cares about you. Somebody has laughed because of you. Somebody has cried because of you. Don't let the feelings of the moment ruin everything. You know, I grew up not in the same kind of atmosphere. You know, when I was in school, teachers didn't want to hear that you were getting bullied. They didn't really care. It wasn't part of their pay grade. And so, and I kind of grew up in the, you know, suck it up, buttercup, walk it off kind of era. And so a lot of it went on growing up, you know. I have people who tell me all the time that I'm like one of the nicest people they've ever met. I mean, it's good they don't see inside my head some of the time, sometimes, but I try. And, you know, in middle school, I somehow picked up a pseudonym, the pseudonym Caveman. I don't know why. I have no idea where it came from or why it happened, but it stuck. You know, we moved from the north to the south when I was in middle school, and I got called a damn Yankee and other stuff like that, because of course I didn't fit in there because I was from the north. You know, and then for high school we came back north again. And I went to a good high school in an affluent neighborhood. But the sad thing about it was not the moments of silence that we had to have every year for a child who had passed from a disease or an accident or things that happen that there's nothing anybody can control. No, you can't control this. But a ridiculous number of silences every year for children who had killed themselves, who decided that their destiny ended that day and that they had nothing more to give anybody. And it's a shame. And I'm not going to sit here and say it was just because of bullying. I mean, it was a lot, you know, we definitely had people who killed themselves because of bullies. We had a lot of people who killed themselves because they were elevated to expectations by their parents that they didn't think they could ever reach. And rather than let these people down, they chose to let themselves down. And I've been contemplating this stuff kind of pretty hard for a couple weeks now. I read an article by somebody, when it was an interview with somebody I really admire, and I think is a really, really great person, you know, which is hard for me to say when they have a celebrity status attached to them, because a lot of celebrities are pretty stinking punky. And, you know, this person, not only do I think they are an excellent actor, I've enjoyed everything I've ever seen, but in their real life, they seem to be a really nice and genuine person. And in this article, this person goes on to talk about how they had tried for something they really, really wanted. They went up for a role they really wanted, did not feel that they had done the job they expected of themselves, and that they weren't going to get it. And therefore was bummed out and actually, you know, questioning their choice of career paths and everything. And that really, I mean, here's somebody that I can honestly say has inspired me, and they still aren't really sure what they see when they look in the mirror. You know, and it boggled my mind that they didn't see what I saw, you know, and what I see was somebody who knows what they're doing and has a great track record as far as I'm concerned, because I've never turned off one of their movies, so hey, that's a good thing. I've actually turned off movies before. So, um, but it actually kind of led into a little meme comic that I did, The Scorpion and the Ram. Some people have seen it and really liked it. Um, but it made me think long and hard about self-perception and the things outside your self-perception. And like I said, I want to say, everybody, you are special. You have touched somebody. Whether you believe it or not, there's somebody out there who would miss you if you were not here, whose day was made brighter, or you gave them a hug they needed when they needed it. I mean, not everything is a colossal achievement, and that's something that I've had to accept because, you know, I started my YouTube channel last May because I was inspired by other YouTubers and stuff. You know, this looks like fun, looks like something I could maybe do. And, you know, I mean, obviously not a flying success at this point, but stuff takes time. And I'm always joking about being a techno derp and derp gaming. So, I mean, I'm always going on about just how lousy I am at these things, which I am. You know, to be quite honest, I'm a lousy gamer. I'm still trying to figure out Assassin's Creed Origins on a handheld controller because I've played PC and mouse for so long, I ruined myself. But finding that thing, I mean, there's something unique about everybody. I see so many people on a daily basis say there's nothing special about them. You know, I'll write something, or I'll do a meme that makes somebody laugh, or a poem that touches somebody, and they'll be like, that's really great. I wish I had the talent to do something. You do. Everybody has something that they can do. I mean, I like to think I've kind of jack of all trades, master of none. You know, I like to paint, I like to draw, I cook. You know, I've done Cooking Made Easy Gamers Edition on my channel, where I'm actually preparing meals right here in the studio, just to show how easy it is and how little you really need in terms of space and training to make a decent meal. But I feel that too many people these days have been told for too long that there is nothing special about them, and that's wrong. You know, everybody is special. Everybody has something that is different than everybody else on this planet. My outro is let your weird light shine so the rest of us can find you. And everybody has a weird light. They do. It's in there somewhere. You just have to find it. I mean, even if it's to be that sarcastic dude that makes other people laugh, or the one who remembers to, you know, bring in cupcakes for a coworker's birthday. Whatever it is, there's something special about everybody. Everyone is unique. We are not the same, and there is not a stockpile of people that are nothing and a handful of people that are you know, excellent. I've often been told that I don't seem like I'm a very emotional person. I mean, that came, you know, years of bullying. I'll be honest, at home, you know, I love my parents. I had a good home growing up, but it was a lot of mixed signals growing up of you can be anything you want to be if you just, you know, work hard enough, while at the same time turning around and saying, get your head out of the clouds. When what I wanted to be was not, I guess, what everybody else would have assumed. You know, my true dream, I would have loved to have been a vet. I'll be honest, I did not have the wherewithal to go through all those classes. So, not a vet. Wanted to be a writer, got told to get my head out of the clouds. You know, would have liked to have been a makeup artist, but again, it was not thought of as a career that one would pursue. back when I was younger. I mean, these days, I probably could have, you know, gone for it. But, you know, the point I want to make is that everybody touches somebody. And even though this person that I admire so much will never know that they touched me. Never. I'll never meet this person. They don't know me, you know, any more than the YouTubers that have impressed me and have actually been the inspiration for me putting a camera on my computer and beating the crap out of stuff in Destiny 2. You know? The thing is that, you know, the people that I watched that I loved, you know, people that affected me were like Matthias and Markiplier, of course, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, a guy named Blue Lava 6. If you don't follow him, you should. He's amazing. But, you know, and he gives really good advice too. But the point is, I don't know them. They will never know that they did something for me that I can't repay. You know, the best I could do is support them. You know, subscribe, follow, all the things they ask you to do, all the things I forget to ask to do in my own YouTube stuff. I never remember to ask people to like or subscribe, but the whole I don't seem emotional, at least to people who know me in person. I mean, that's a lot of years of putting up a brick at a time or a chink in an armor, and it's always been a lie. You know, it's a lie. Things hurt you more than you try to show people. Everybody says, you know, keep a you know, a strong will, or, you know, don't let people see that they've hurt you or whatever. But no matter how thick your armor is, if you're a good person at heart, you're still sitting there crying while you're making a condolence meme because a YouTuber's frog died or their dog passed away, which I did. PewDiePie's Toad Slippy died this past week, as did Markiplier's childhood dog. I made memes. I made memes that expressed how sad I was that they had lost something important to them. And they may never see him, I don't know. But somebody else might, and it might soothe an ache that they have because they have gone through a similar thing. And I always tell people that I'm always available to talk. You know, I am not the wise Buddha, but I try. And more often than not, just the act of talking to somebody and talking out a problem or expressing a hurt or a loss, it starts the healing. It makes that person feel better. They've lightened their load a little. And it doesn't have to become yours. You know, I've always said I have the best virtual bar on the planet because I'm the virtual bartender. People always tell me their troubles, and at the end of the day, the bartender goes home. You know, he doesn't go home and think, oh God, Fred was feeling awful today. Well, now I feel terrible. You know, the bartender goes home, does bartender things. You know, he goes home to his family. He goes home to his TV show, his game system, whatever. But the person who talked to him left feeling a little lighter than they did when they'd walked in. And that's really kind of all I ever try to do if I'm talking to somebody. You know, the point is, it never hurts to reach out. You know, if you know somebody, if you don't know them well, I mean, I can tell you honestly, out here in the real world, I do not have a single person I could pick up the phone and call to go see a movie. Ever. I don't. You know, I'll see him with my husband, see him with family, but I don't have a single person, and I do have friends. I have people I do talk to. I have people I hang out with. You know, like my next neighbor and stuff. But we are on such different wavelengths as people. We've just never become like that. You know, it's something that I envy in my husband because he has friends that have been friends since middle school. They make up the 5D crew that I game with on Twitch and stuff. And maybe it's time for me to tell them, whether you know it or not, you've made a difference in my life. You brought me laughter and silliness and sometimes mild annoyance, but you've made a difference to me. And I appreciate you for it. You know, I love you guys. You're crazy and just as irreverent and just as terrible in terms of jokes and puns and everything else as me. So we kind of hit on that wavelength very well. I enjoy gaming with you, even if we fail miserably. But, you know, you've made that difference. You know, the stuff I've built a foundation on my whole life of not being good enough, not reaching that point, you know, or even, I mean, I got all kinds of stuff growing up. I got ice skating lessons, I got piano lessons, I got tennis lessons. I didn't want any of it. I would have liked the dance lessons. Really wanted to learn how to play the drums, but such things didn't end up being an option. By the time the thought of dance lessons rolled around, I had dropped out of so many things. They just didn't. My parents weren't even thinking about putting me in stuff at that point. But I didn't like the stuff I was in. So I went into middle school and junior high and high school already having, I guess, a lower bar than I probably should have. You know, you get to the point where even you don't expect anything from yourself. And it's taken a very, very, very long time for me to get here. Longer than any of you all probably know or realize. But I'm here, and I'm probably going to be hard to get rid of at this point. I currently have an absolutely wonderful husband who supports my bad behavior to a certain level. You know, Christmas this year was all new stuff. You know, new monitor, new camera, brand new chair that's actually for gaming. It's not PewDiePie's because we don't have that kind of money. But the point is not to surround yourself with people that want to bring you down. You know? And I can't say, I mean, at this point that, like I said, I have a lot, but I've got a few. I've got a couple people that always have a kind word for me, or like the things I do, or in case my next door neighbor thinks I'm weird and creepy because I do the makeup with the costume lenses and stuff that I did during Hell Week, but I still, you know, carry on with, because in the end, it ended up being part of who I wanted to be, you know. I grew up, you know, the brown hair, brown eyed kid, you know, wasn't I was always on the stocky side, you know. Had to live down a lot of, you know, horrible names. Heck, I gave up straight up on being a lifeguard because I was taking a class through my school because it was the kind of school where gym class could be just about anything, fencing, square dancing, or you could get your lifeguard certificate. And I thought, hey, I'm an awesome swimmer. I'm at home in the water. You know, I should go for this. And all it really ended up doing was bringing up a whole new name for people to call me, which was Orca. And by the end of the class, I decided that nobody really wants to be saved from drowning by an orca, so I didn't really even bother finishing the class. And, you know, and I let that affect me. I let it affect me for a long time. Oh my God, the scars you get in high school sometimes. But we need to realize that those people are already in the past. I don't care if you are a freshman on your first day. and some guy walks by and slaps your books out of your hand. He's already the past. In 4 years, and 4 years may seem like a long time, but it can be devilishly short. But in 4 years, they really are going to be history. You will never see or talk to most of these people again. And I can vouch for that. There is not a single person I went to high school with that could walk up and bite me and I would know who they were. They're my past. They were gone and done with a long time ago. And it's hard when you're in the middle of it. But it gets better. And oh God, if you can get past high school and get to college, college is a whole different universe. You get to be a people in college, trust me. You also get to almost fail your Algebra 2 because you're busy playing role-playing games in the student commons. Or you're part of a 28-person 4-deck game of Black Mariah. That was a good one. But the point is once you get past this hurdle, these people don't matter. None of them do. You know, there is not one of them, there's not one person that you go to high school with that is going to change the course of your future life unless you let them. You know, it's all about what you give your power to. You know, and at this point, I'm trying to give over my power to YouTube and Twitch. I'm trying to move beyond just sitting back and letting things happen. You know, which I'm really good at. I mean, good heavens. I am super good at being, you know, a stone in the corner of the room gathering dust. You know, there, paying attention, but not really part of it. You know, I guess I'm kind of like Pluto, you know. I do revolve around the sun, but not really counted. So, I'm hoping for the new year that my channel picks up more and that people actually enjoy it. The meme goddess memes are out there. I mean, if you ever run across one, you know, let me know. I'd like to know that they're out there flying around being silly, you know. Or if you watch me on YouTube or have watched me on YouTube and you liked it, or you watched me on Twitch. I mean, on YouTube, I'm Amarynthe, theEternal. On Twitch, I'm Yandra2017. And I'm always up for people to like hit me up to play games. If they share similar tastes. I mean, currently, we're playing the original Screw Your Neighbor game Uno online on my stream tonight. And you know, I'm always up to play stuff with people. You know, just as much as I'm up to talk to them, or you know, I've always been a great sounding board. But the point is, here we are at the end of what is probably the ugliest year I've seen in a long time. Everybody's ugly to everybody. No one has a kind word. Everybody has got bile they feel the need to spew. And I'm really not okay with it. You know? Nobody, no one in this society, I don't care if it's a religion, a race, a cross-section of people, whatever. None of us are moving forward separately. So, you know, I wish everybody out there the happiest of holidays, whatever you believe, and I hope this coming year brings more peace and joy to everybody. So, remember, let your weird light shine so the rest of us can find you. And I'll probably vlog in the new year, and I'll talk to y'all then. Thank you.